So we're underway with the men's 5,000 metre B race. Ulrik Heitmann Jensen of Denmark, Morten Fransen of Denmark, Phil Hinch of Tipton, James Ellis, Newman Essex Beagles, Johnny Gilby of Derby, Andy Haken-Ulad of Denmark, Johan Damkje of Denmark, Matt James of Bedford, Philip Bernstein of Winchester, Simon Deacon of Leeds City, Steve Phillips of Southampton, Chris Disco of Le Croupier, Tommy Davis of Southampton, Sam Bradley of Tunbridge, Kevin Skinner, Newman Essex Beagles, Adam Clark of Aldershot, James Smith of Leeds City, Carl Smith of Leeds City, and Andrew Russell of Stroud. So that's our 5,000 metres B race, and as you can see it's a very brisk start. Keith Gerard doing the pacemaking. 67 is the target time, just under that, so a good fast start to this 5k. Most of these athletes with personal bests 14:20, 14:30 or so. 67s will give us a time of around about 14 minutes to 14:10. So it's James Ellis following the pacemaker just ahead of Steve Phillips of Southampton. Then Chris Discombe of Le Croupier. Philip Bernstein in there as well. As we approach 800 metres.
Yeah, nice to see.
Go through 2:16. And that's on target for our 14:10 pace. So still James Ellis from Steve Phillips, then Discombe. Then we've got the first of the Danes, Morten Fransen, just ahead of his colleague Johan Damkje. Very little bunching here in this B race. Certainly single file running for the first 10 or so athletes, which implies it is a good fast race. Gerard going through there about 3:25. Well, James Ellis, Newman Essex Beagles. All-time PB is 14:26.
Yeah, obviously, it means you don't worry about it.
Steve Phillips of Southampton in second place, best of 14:38. So good running by these chaps here. And indeed Chris Discombe, Le Croupier, best of 14:34. So that gives you an indication of the sort of pace that we're running at here. And the two Danes with similar sort of personal bests in the 14:30s. As we approach the first mile, Keith Gerard doing a great job out there, pacemaking. Goes through just outside 4:30, so certainly 14:10 pace at the moment. Great running. So it's still Ellis from Phillips, then Discombe, the two Danes. Then appearing for the first time, it's Ulad, the third Danish athlete, best of 14:36. He's just ahead of Tunbridge's Sam Bradley. He's one of the quickest up there at 14:24. Simon Deacon beginning to make his way through the field. One or two changes in position now with the Danish athletes. As we go through 2,000 metres, just outside 5:40. So in between that 14:10, 14:15 range. Good pace being set here by these athletes. So as Keith Gerrard comes in front of us, it is Johan Damkje, the first of the Danes, 14:33, his best. Just a slight gap then to Ellis, Phillips and Discombe, then the other two Danes, then Sam Evans. Matt James of Bedford, he's one of the quickest in the field, although 14:45 this season, and Simon Deacon just behind him. James Smith as well, and Carl Smith in there. So Damkje with a slight lead now of 10-15 metres over the next three athletes, the two Brits and the second Dane. In fact, the Danes now in first, third and fourth and fifth. Over halfway, 6 laps to go. So it's Ellis, then Phillips, then Franson, then Ulad, then Discombe, and Simon Deacon moving up all the time. Great to see him coming back to some good form. Hasn't run a 5k this season, 14:33 last season, so we'll keep an eye on him. And if he can get past Discombe, his next target is that chasing group. And there he goes. In the meantime, the leading runners just outside 8 minutes at that marker there. So just slowed slightly maybe at 14:20 pace or so, but that's to be expected with personal bests in the 14:30s range, 14:40s. Keith Gerrard doing a great job here. So he's come up to 3,000 metres. So they go through an 8:35, 14:25 pace that is, so they need to keep this sort of pace going. And now James Smith, the Leeds City athlete, just in front of Deacon, and indeed they are closing on that group there, so we'll keep an eye on them. Could well change in the latter stages.
Do you actually put this in your hand? You run with this in your hand? Are you enjoying it? Are you actually doing it?
So James Smith pushing it on there in about 6th place. Been very prominent this season at both 10k and 5k on the track. So certainly a strong athlete, good consistent performer. And they're definitely closing on that leading chasing group. And it could all get very interesting in this last mile. 4 laps to go. Still Franson though. Damkje, I beg his pardon, out in the lead. Gerrard doing a great job. Then it's Ellis. Then it's Franson. Then Phillips. Then Ulad. And then James Smith. With Jensen, the 4th Dane in there. just behind him. So James Smith is now on into that chasing group, and he goes right the way through. Gerard moves to one side, so at the front Damkia takes it on. And they've gone through in 10.23 there. So we're on about 14.30 pace. Still PB territory for all these athletes, because they will pick it up in the last couple of laps or so, if they can just dig in now over this next 600 metres. And all of a sudden we've got Damkia a few metres, and then 6 or 7 athletes. And it's James Smith having a great run here from Leeds City. Personal best of 14.34. And who's it that's going with him? It's one of the Danes, it's Jensen. 14.32 his best. Under 3 laps to go. Ellis still trying to hang on there in 4th place. Well, it's been a bit of a charge by James Smith, with Franson just behind him. So will he go past the leader, or will he tuck in? He is a strength athlete, and he goes onto the shoulder of Damkia. So we have a new leader at the 4,000 metre mark. Still under 14.35 pace, and now we have a new strong leader, so we could still be in the sub 14.30 territory. We've got 4 athletes in contention. Well, as ever in these longer distance races, Leeds City turning out in force, and James Smith is one of the main protagonists, but he's got 2 Danes behind him. Then it's Ellis, then a 3rd Dane, then we're back to Phillips, and now also coming through strongly with just under 800 metres to go, Tommy Davis of Southampton. He's the 2nd Southampton athlete in the race, and in fact he's just behind his colleague there, Phillips. So we'll keep an eye on him as well, looking strong. Plenty of time yet to catch up with that leading group. So James Smith, 600 metres to go. James Ellis has had a good race. He's been there all through the race, right at the front, and he goes into 3rd place. And as we suspected, Tommy Davis now goes into 5th place. Another surge there, and it'll be a surge by the horn as they come into the home straight, and they'll take the bell. So give them some encouragement once again. We're looking for 14.30s and under. James Smith will take the bell, and he goes through in just outside 13.20. So we could be on for sub 14.30, with Jensen in 2nd, and Ellis has rallied once again. Keep an eye out for Ellis, the Newham athlete, best of 14.26. Davis is now in 5th, closing rapidly. And look at this for a race. The Dane takes it on from Smith now, but Ellis is now in 3rd place. We're going into 2nd, is he? And look at Davis coming through. 200 to go, 13.55. Look at the front 3, but look at Davis as well. We'll keep an eye on him. James Smith is struggling slightly, and it's Ellis that is challenging for the lead. Davis going to get into 3rd, we think. We're into the home straight. And it's Ellis that comes through, the Newham Essex Beagles athlete. And it's Ellis, his personal best is 14.26. But Davis is coming through like a train as well, and he gets a personal best. Great running. All these athletes, Smith as well, under 14.30.
Come on, under!
Then we've got Evans. Andrew Russell. Deacon finishing. Great running there though by those leading athletes. Kevin Skinner. Johnny Gilby coming through. The final of the Dames. Then we've got Philip